Hello, this is Josh from the Comic Book Collecting Quest. I hope everyone had a excellent Thanksgiving. I did. And I today got to attend the Minnesota Vikings coming back in the fourth quarter and beating the Arizona Cardinals, which was a great time. So now I'll do a little video here. So I'll do the reviews. Okay. So once again, I will rate each book top notch, good, okay, bad, or terrible. And this week my reviews are all going to be the Twilight Zone. Not all of them are Gold Key, though. And just to refresh everyone, how I do this is I just grab the last 5 books that I read and go from there. So this is Twilight Zone from Gold Key. This is number 31 from December of 1969. So this one is the cover story. This guy was in, let's move along here. He's a scientist, and he's trying to sorry, I was just seeing. He's doing some sort of experiment with this technology, and then it goes bad, and he's exposed to a lot of sounds for a very long time, and they find him, and then he gets to where he kind of gains power, or machines can talk to him now. So machines communicate with him and warn him of danger that is coming. And he decides to get away from the city and all the machines, so he takes a cruise. And then the engine room warns him, "We are in danger. The fog, there's another vessel on our course. Womp." So he runs up and warns the captain and everyone that they're on a collision course. No one believes him. Everyone thinks he's crazy. And they miss the oncoming vessel. So with these gold keys, there's kind of a formula to all of the stories. Well, not all of them, but most of the stories I read, it was kind of the same formula. Like, guy has some sort of intuition or superpower. No one believes him. Everyone thinks he's crazy. And this one is a happy ending with everybody saying, "Wow, thanks for saving us." But some of them are, he ends up dead or in an insane asylum or jail. Oh, and this one, this was cool, environmental story here. This is like the ocean. And it's kind of the ocean being its own conscious being, and these they're drilling for oil in this well, and it springs a leak, and the ocean turns on everybody on the drilling platform, scares them away. We got the word, abandon the rig, and the ocean, fixes the leak. But will they ever learn? We never did. Enter the TV star sweepstakes. A personal appearance on Family Affair. Brian Keith as Uncle Bill. Sebastian Cabot as Mr. French. I was trying to see who I recognize here. I only recognize Brian Keith. Parent Traps, Brian Keith. And this is Delta. This is a Delta Airlines advertisement. I love this. That's like the worst price. 50 third prizes. Gets an Organair Consulate electronic organ. Wow. So you can play all your favorite Stevie Wonder songs. Everybody get a chance to watch that Yacht Rock documentary on HBO or Max? It's pretty entertaining. Hey boys and girls, we have a glorious golden offer for you. Fun ways to learn languages, puzzles, cutouts, sports, science, and nature. This is the Golden Magazine for boys and girls. Wonder if that's Western Publishing also. Okay, moving along here. The most menacing man alive. Oh, okay. I didn't recognize this story. So this guy is teaching. He's like a science teacher, and he's showing them a science experiment with the Tesla coil or whatever. And he gets a lot of electricity sent to his body, and now apparently he has some sort of it's like I don't want to call it a superpower, but some sort of power where he can now shoot electricity or emit electricity from himself. And he's kind of got like a Midas touch where everything he touches is destroyed by electricity. So he's really having a hard time functioning in society, and sits down and decides, I'm going to he's sorry. He sees this rabbit in dire help because he hears the rabbit yelling, which I've heard rabbits yelling before, and it's none too good. And he ends up killing the poor rabbit with his electrical transfer. So he decides to go to the power station to get help from electrical engineers, and he ends up frying the power station, and power is out in a large area. So no, I can't take it anymore, and runs to the hills to live out the rest of his years alone in the wilderness. And the irony at the end, these kids are camped out underneath a tree, and he's going to go warn them. Never, ever, ever go underneath a tree in a thunderstorm. And he gets struck by lightning. And then this is a happy ending. He wakes up and he's fine. So it's one of those, you get hit in the head with something, you're confused, you get hit in the head again, and you're not confused anymore. Get struck, have electrical pulses coming from you because of a Tesla coil, get struck by lightning, and you're cured. And the Gold Key Fan Club. And subscription service. Oh, and you can get a Family Affair is apparently an adventure. I guess I never watched Family Affair. Of course, that came out 20 years before I was born or whatever, but yes. Alright, moving on. True Weird Stories. Good news for the many Ripley Gold Key fans. It's a new Ripley's Believe It or Not chiller that you'll find on stands next month. That's cool. And a Mattel Inc. advertisement at the end. So yeah, and my rating of this is I'll give it a top notch. I love these. These were really fun. I wasn't ever bored while I was reading them. I was entertained the whole time. I think I read most of them in one night just because they were so good I couldn't put them down. I'm a fan of the original Twilight Zone from the black and white ones. I think I've seen just about all of them. Yeah, that's why I got these, because I'm a big Twilight Zone fan. Okay. So I love, this is a great cover, and I always loved this. Ralph played substitute father to a witch. Okay. So this is Twilight Zone number 39 from September of 1971. And this first story is The Youngest Witch. This is a really, really weird story. So this kid, his dad went away. His dad's like in the military, and then this neighbor is like, I want to be his new dad. So it's weird right off the bat. So he buys, well, I mean, I say weird right off the bat, but, you know, who could be so lucky to have a neighbor that's wanting to take them to a ball game and see a reproduction of Michelangelo's David. And then, so he sees the kid playing with toys, and he can control the toys, and he begins to suspect that the kid is the son of the devil. Mark Jewelers, but I think it was in every gold key. So he's, this is the spawn of the devil, and the kid almost gets ran over, and he's able to pick up the police car and save himself. And then this is where he's finally, what is he? Does he say? What is he? Okay, so it's so strange because he goes from like, I'll be your new dad to like, you evil spawn of the devil. And then he's, I got to warn his mother, but he's a murderous warlock. I never saw him murder anyone in this comic. So he's got a little sister or whatever, and the guy comes in, he's like, your kid's a spawn of the devil. And then he figures out the Twilight Zone twist at the end is it wasn't the boy that was the spawn of the devil. It was ga, you've learned my secret, Ralph Speaker. You know I must protect myself. So the kid forces him into insanity. And Ralph still screams in that little room where they finally put him, the insane asylum. And whenever he sees a baby, he really goes off into uncontrollable hysteria. Poor Ralph, his instinct for good put him on the trail of a witch, only to find out that it led him into the Twilight Zone. Love it. So good. And this next one is Wedding March. We have a good advertisement here for ready to race, no batteries. Gyro powered. Oh, that's cool. So they're like little wind up cars, I guess. Yeah, this one was, okay. So this one, I can't remember if, okay, so this guy's getting ready to get married, and this is like in medieval times or something. Or maybe the Renaissance. Well, he's playing an organ, so that would be the Renaissance, I guess. And he's murdered by this man here. And, yeah, so the guy is haunted. Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to read it. So this guy is going to marry the woman instead, that the guy that he just murdered, and then he hears the mysterious music playing in the distance, and it's the ghost, and the ghost, scares him. He falls out of the window and dies. Great advertisement here. Any 8 tapes or records for $4 only. Oh, this is Columbia House. So I was like, man, that's a great deal. There's a catch, though. It's Columbia House. So what can you get here? Three Dog Night, Golden Biscuits. I don't know that one. Jimi Hendrix. Don't know any of those. Oh, you get a Barbra Streisand, Stony End. Time and Love, Free the People, If You Could Read My Mind. Oh, that's a great song, but not her version. The Fifth Dimension. Okay. We got Dean Martin for the good times. For the good times. But that's Ray Price. Oh, there it is. Ray Price right there for the good times. I like Ray Price's version. Let's see, Tom Jones, I Who Have Nothing. Stephen Stills, Love the One You're With. That's classic. Oh, man, and The Carpenters, Close to You. I'm a Burt Bacharach fan. Love Burt Bacharach, so not too crazy about The Carpenters, but whenever anyone's performing Burt Bacharach, I'm going to like it. Johnny Mathis, Love Story, Steppenwolf, 7. Lynn Anderson, Rose Garden. I beg your pardon. Delaney and Bonnie and Friends. Okay, so Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, I always wondered about that because you always hear like Eric Clapton and the band and all those guys talking about how great they were. I don't know any of their songs and have never had the desire to listen to them either. Never heard any of their songs, but you always hear like the guys that, that were great from that era, talking about how great they were. Barbra Streisand's Greatest Hits. Oh, that's cool. Otis Redding and Jimi Hendrix live at Monterey. That's cool. James Taylor. Okay. Lawrence Welk. Yeesh. The Best of Peter, Paul, and Mary. Okay. Oh, there it is. Neil Young, After the Gold Rush. That's one of my favorite albums. I love that album. It's, starts off with I guess that's a G major scale there. And then he goes into those great Sailing Hardships. They're Broken Harbors. Yeah. So good. So good. I was actually at an estate sale looking through the records, and I saw that one, but I already had it. And then some guy a few minutes later started looking through them, and he was like in his 20s or something. And I like made him buy that album. But I was like, I knew it because he didn't know what it was or anything. And I was just like, oh my God. When you first put on that, it's like that Willie Nelson, The Redheaded Stranger, you like drop the needle and then he's like, time of the preach. And like, oh my God, that's so good. It's comparable to that. So good. Sorry, I talked way too much about that. Let's see. I'll wrap it up here. Oh, there's Burt Bacharach, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Very good. Best of George Jones. Tell Me My Lying Eyes Are Wrong. I don't know that one. Yeah, Bridge Over Troubled Water. All right, quit looking at all these songs. Sorry. Oh, that's a great album. Sly and the Family Stone, Greatest Hits. Led Zeppelin 3. Oh, that's a good, kind of an underrated Bob Dylan album there. It's got If Not For You. It was George Harrison did a great version of that, but he still was good. Sorry. Quit talking about music. This is comics, not music. So, okay, so Fool's Gold. Oh, this is cool. So, this miner here is panning for gold on sacred Indian land. And this witch doctor or shaman tells him to leave the area, not to disturb it, and leave the gold because that is a sacred place. He kills the shaman, and he says, "Death to those who kill on this holy ground, who disturb their sleep. Listen to the wind, White Eyes. Listen to." Sorry. And he passes away. Guy strikes it rich, goes back to east, becomes this derby-wearing carpetbagger, and he is spooked by a cigar store Indian, and guess has a heart attack? Oh, I can't understand what killed him. There wasn't a mark on him. But I know what killed him. Retribution in the Twilight Zone. Oh, we have another story here. Escape Artist. Oh, this one was good too. These are all so good. So these two old men, they're like old magicians living in a retirement home together. And they like hate each other because they keep ruining each other's magic gigs in the retirement home. This one goes upstairs and shows one of them one of his old tricks, and they end up fighting. He falls, hits his head. The other one stuffs him in the box, and the next morning they're like, we don't know where he's at. And he says he went out for a walk. And now he sees Bondini, and he says he can't be. It's a real ghost. And the nurse is like, all right, calm down. He's like, no, I'll show you. So he takes her upstairs and reveals that was a ghost of Bondini, because there inside the chest is his body. But, yes, for just long enough to make Marcus confess, Bondini performed his greatest escape act from the Twilight Zone. Da-da-da-da. Or whatever. Sorry. And yeah, so great book. Like I said, I love these. So that one is another top notcher. I need to hurry along here and not make a 2-hour video on these comics. Okay. I'll be quick. I spent way too much time looking at those records. Okay. This is Twilight Zone number 45 from September of 1972. A call for Mr. Travers. So this guy in 1906, San Francisco 1906, he buys a telephone. The telephone calls him and warns him of dangers like, hey, don't go in the elevator. And he don't know who it is, but somebody called him, told him not to go in the elevator. He convinces these women not to go in the elevator, and then the elevator snaps and falls, and they said, oh, thank you for saving her life. Next, see, what is this? Oh, okay, so he's supposed to go and meet a client at the wharf, and somebody calls him on the telephone and tells him not to go to the wharf. It's dangerous. So he doesn't go to the wharf. The wharf collapses and saves him. What's this? Wanted by everyone. Touch him's 3-dimensional. Stick him on books, cars, bikes, you name it. Add touch him's to almost anything. Featuring the most colossal collection of comic characters ever. $1.50 each. 3 for $4. Those are kind of expensive. They better have been cool. What happened to the comic book characters? All I see is Warner Brothers and Disney. Okay. And his assistant is going to go home, but somebody phones him and tells him that there's going to be a rock slide at her house, so he tells her not to go home. And then he's called again and told. So here's kind of the formula, like I was saying. Another phone call comes in and tells him that there's going to be a giant earthquake and the city's in danger. So he freaks out and goes and tells the mayor, you got to get everybody out, the city's about to be destroyed, in 1906, San Francisco. And so he, you gotta, please, while there's still time. They throw him in jail. You're crazy, man. San Francisco doesn't have earthquakes. And then this earthquake happens. He's released from jail, but while he's running out, the phone is ringing. And he says, the heck with that. This thing's got me in so much trouble. And then he sadly meets his end because he is ran over by the fire department. If he would have only answered that phone. 4 phone calls, each with a warning for Joseph Travers. will never know what this last one would have told him. Perhaps he might have saved his own life by answering that final call from the Twilight Zone. Da 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 da. Okay, I should really stop doing that. Da 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 da. Okay. Oh, gosh, it's so good. So here's the experiment. I'm trying to fully wrap my brain around exactly what's happening in this one, because this one was really good. Okay, so these scientists in the future, or somewhere, I'll say somewhere, are running this experiment, and the experiment goes wrong, and they're disappointed, and they have to scrap it and start all over. However, inside one of the tubes is some speck of something, a contaminated piece of junk. Well, sir, that contaminated piece of junk happens to be planet Earth. These poor people. But he's destroyed planet Earth. It's so dirty it would have contaminated itself anyway. I guess I did you and this thing a favor by putting it out of its misery. Okay, sorry. Stop doing that. And here we are. Get these dynamite embroidered cloth patches that tell it like it is. 1972. So I guess you would sew these into your jean jacket. We got a Woodstock. We got a peace symbol. Stop! I don't know what the stop sign is. Playboy bunny. Survival, a gas mask. Peace flag. Peace. Life symbol. Black is beautiful. Cobra. Help, I need lovin'. That's the best one of them all. Help, I need lovin'. Love that. Life slogan. I can't read what it says. Peace, Sergeant. Lame. I like the help, I need lovin'. American flag. Caution, Budweiser. Flash Gordon. That's cool. Okay. Ecology peace flag. Popeye. Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's. That's cool. I would go with help, I need lovin'. Kids, Roach designs are now available as iron-on transfers. So more of these, probably the same company, huh? More peace flags. African-American pride. Popeye. The stars and bars. Oh, there's a Hulk. There's a Captain America. Oh, there's Spider-Man. That's what I want. Class of 72. Love, peace, and happiness. Woodstock. The Curse of Seal Bay. Yeah, this was a okay story. So these guys wander off their path. They're like blown off. They're seal hunters, and they're like blown off their path, and they come upon this uncharted island and find out that there's a lot of seals on it. So they harvest a bunch of seals, and they take this tusk, and then they're blown back on course. Hang on just a second, there's some Snoopy pens. So they're blown back on course, and things start to happen. Guys start to die mysteriously, and there's only one surviving member of the crew that makes it back, and he knows that everything's cursed, so he tries to sell everything off to this merchant. And he still cannot avoid his death because his coat that was made from the seals that they harvested from the island attacks him, and he dies. And then here's, okay, so there's more stories in here. This is a far out art for art's sake story. Oh my gosh, it's Mr. Burns when he was younger. Rod Burns. Oh, must be Monty's cousin. Anyway, so this Rod Burns told this artist, yeah, make a mural, like do all these, do whatever you want to with my building here. And he ends up painting it all weird, just like in 1972. Trippy. So he made it all trippy, and this square, Rod Burns, doesn't like it and refuses to pay the artist. The artist retaliates and gets thrown out the window on accident, I assume, by Rod Burns. Falls to his death. And he's going to have to strip the building down. But then he finds out that the high society of New York likes the building and wants to buy it. So he's going to make him a bunch of money, and he won't share any money. It looks like it's some sort of monster advertisement. Magic kit. More peace stick-ons. Boy, they were really selling that peace thing. Sells. In 1972, anyway. So he was unwilling to share any of the money. He was going to keep it all. And the art attacks him finally and kills him. The oddest thing about Rod Burns' accidental death is the spattering of bright colors over his broken body. But who could have guessed where they come from unless he witnessed an incredible battle? But the battle had no witnesses outside the Twilight Zone. I didn't do it. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I can't not do it. So, that was another top-notch. I loved it. So good. Just really throwing around that top-notch rating. I know, but hey, they are super entertaining. And then I just messed that bag up. Oh, well. Okay, last two here. What did I do with the other one? So this one's from the newer series. That's from Now Comics. And so what surprised me is that I was like looking at this art, and it's like, man, this art's like, I don't want to say it's like sucks, but it's not good. And then I saw that it was Neil Adams. I was like, what? But then you look at that and like, okay, that's good. But the, it wasn't, I hate to say it, but it just, I don't know. It wasn't me. Wasn't my liking. And I love Neil Adams. Like, he's one of my top artists. But there was a couple panels that I was like, okay, no, that's really good. Like that. And like, his, like, the demon looks pretty good. So, okay. Sorry, I should be talking about this. I'm just, like, complaining about the art. So this guy, he's like, takes a loan out from this loan shark gangster. And there's this demon that's harassing him because the demon has taken all of his money, and he made a deal with the demon. And, sorry. He made a deal with the demon to win a bunch of money while gambling, and he borrowed the money from this loan shark. But the demon kind of like screwed him, like where he lost all of his money in a horse race, and the demon wants his soul. See, but then he's like, man, that's really good. So, I don't know. It's just weird. So he goes to the loan shark and says, hey, I've got this demon that's after me. I don't have your money. And the loan shark says, okay, I'll take care of this demon. And so they go into this mall and find the woman, the summoner of the demon. She summons the demon for them. Demon kills her. See, that's cool too. I don't know why I didn't like the art, but then it has its moments. And so the demon, kind of attacks them all, and they, some of them die, some escape, and then the loan shark mobster comes back, and he has escaped. And he tells him, hey, come with me. We're going to take this thing on. And he goes to a safety deposit box and gets out this box here. And he gets like a crystal or something that he's going to use as a weapon. So now the demons come to them, and the demon is going to come at midnight to take this guy's soul. And so he takes on the demon and attacks the demon, puts him in the box. See, and then look at this panel. Like, wow. You're like, okay, that is Neil Adams. That is awesome. So it's tough. So he takes on the demon, puts him in the box, and then here's our Twilight Zone twist. The demon finds out that his dad, the demon's dad, was also defeated by this loan shark, and now they're both banished to the box. And the end. Good story. This is Twilight Zone number 1 from Now Comics in 1991. So that I'll give it. I don't want to give it a top notch. I'll give it a good. It was really good. I'm just disappointed in the art. It's Neil Adams, and I love Neil Adams, but it just wasn't that good of art. But it had the art had its moments, though. So, and our last book here. This is Twilight Zone number 8 from Now. Not Neil Adams art. So this family is trying to escape this planet because the mom and dad hate the planet, but the son loves it. And they crash. The family dies. And then the son wakes up, and he finds that his parents are not dead, that they are alive. So, and then they tell him, like, hey, we're going to stay on this planet. We love this planet. He's like, oh, cool. So do I. I love this planet as well. And then they start to see things that they've never seen before on the planet. And then there's a bunch of miners who all love the planet as well, because now there's no police or authority on the planet, so the miners rule the planet. Kid wakes up in the middle of the night to find his parents like worshiping something, and then that's when he finds out, like, wow, okay, I don't think my parents are really my parents. They go to this museum, and his parents start showing him all this stuff that was part of the planet's former inhabitants. And this scene here, this is some miners gambling and talking about the former inhabitants of the planet. And one guy says that he was saved by some aliens on the planet. No one believes him. And then, so the kid confronts his parents. You're not really my parents, are you? No, we're not. We're really aliens. And the reason why we adopted you is because we lost our son. You lost your parents, but we lost our son. And we just weren't ready to move on. So now they tell him that, we've got to go. We're going to take one of those a technology that was in the museum, and we're heading back to the hills. So he's like, okay. And then come to find out, there was only really one miner the whole time. There was just a bunch of shape-shifting aliens. And the kid finds out that I think it's the air. If you live on the planet long enough, you will gain it's the water. That's right. It's the water of the planet. If you drink the water enough, you will gain the power of shape-shifting. So he leaves with his newly adopted parents, and he shapeshifts himself to be like them. And he lives on a desert planet located in a remote sector of the Twilight Zone. One more time. Okay. That was it. So this one, I love this one. I really like this one a lot because the other one was like horror and demonic things. Really, that's not really my wheelhouse, but science fiction is. So I give this one a top notch. I love this one. So good. I think these Twilight Zones, period, are all overlooked. But I think there's guys like me out there that really enjoy them. So, that be it. So we had, I don't know what I did with the other one. Uh-oh, messing with my phone now. Let me make sure I'm still recording. Still recording. Okay. I have no idea what I did with the other book. I must have dropped it somewhere. Anyway, there's a fourth book. Just don't know where it's at right now. But these three are top notch. So, I like them all equally. Oh, I know. It was that first one. With the, anyway. It's hard to say which one my favorite one was. Yeah, I liked them all equally. Probably like this cover the best. But all right, anyway, that is it. I will get out of here and go to bed. Thank you, everyone, and keep on collecting.